El futuro está en transformar con acciones conscientes el presente, en pensar con innovación, en nuestra voluntad de cambio. Para nosotros, el futuro está en el origen. Argos, soluciones verdes, innovación consciente. Descubre cómo construir más sostenible en www.solucionesverdes.co. ¿Y si dejamos de pensar en el futuro únicamente como algo que está por venir? ¿Y si volver la vista atrás no es tan malo como nos han dicho? Pensar en el futuro como un inicio, como la posibilidad de regresar a lo elemental, es comprender que su valor no está solo en permitirnos imaginar lo que será, sino también en el regalo de aprender, reconectándonos con nuestro origen. Presentamos Soluciones Verdes de Argos. Soluciones más amigables con el planeta, que representan nuestro compromiso con un futuro más sostenible. Acciones, productos y servicios que reducen emisiones de carbono, se adaptan a los fenómenos naturales, contribuyen a la economía circular y promueven el bienestar y confort. Para nosotros, el futuro está en transformar con acciones conscientes el presente, en pensar con innovación, en nuestra voluntad de cambio. Para nosotros, el futuro está en el origen. Argos, soluciones verdes, innovación consciente. Descubre cómo construir más sostenible en www.solucionesverdes.co. ¿Y si dejamos de pensar en el futuro únicamente como algo que está por venir?
What if we stop thinking about the future as something that is yet to come? And if looking back is not as bad as they made it out to be, let's think about the future as the starting point. Let's try to understand that the value of the future is not just about imagining what will be, but also the gift of learning by reconnecting with our origins. Introducing Green Solutions by Argos, more environmentally friendly solutions, representing our commitment towards a more sustainable future. Actions, products, and services, reducing carbon emissions, adapting to natural phenomena, contributing to circular economy, and promoting well-being and comfort. For us, the future is about transforming the present through conscious action, through thinking with innovation, and on our willingness to change. For us, the future is in the origins. Argos, Green Solutions, Conscious Innovation. Find out how to build more sustainably at www.solucionesverdes.co. Good morning, everyone. My name is Piedad Monsalve. I'm part of the Argos communications team, and I'm really thankful that you all joined us on the Soluciones Verdes launch. This is a portfolio of green products that will allow us to provide our customers with extraordinary solutions. We're broadcasting via Zoom, but we're also broadcasting through our Facebook site, and we're offering simultaneous interpretation services into English. Should you require simultaneous interpretation services, on the bottom side of your screens, you will find a button labeled interpretation, and you will be able to pick the language of your choice. We will be talking about what this portfolio entails from the commitment point of view, as well as organizational philosophy. And also, we're going to be delving into some technical aspects. And at the end of the webinar, we're going to have a Q&A session. And if you're joining us through Zoom, you will be able to participate. You will be able to ask your questions and give us your comments on the Q&A button, also on the bottom side of your screens. And we will try to answer your questions in this webinar. And if you're joining us through Facebook, you can type a comment with either a question or a comment or a remark, and our technical team will address those. We will also answer some of those live. As we said, we're joined by some of our board members. we'll have Marisabel Echeverry, the Vice President of Sustainability, Ana Maria Echeverry from the Yo Prometo Communities, Gabriel Duque, Research and Development Director, and Carlos Gomez, Technical Advisor Director. As the video said, if you want to find out more about a green solution portfolio, you may visit our website, www.solucionesverdes.co, and you will find more products belonging to this portfolio. We will share the URL address with you through the chat option on this webinar. Without further ado, I'm going to give the floor to Marisabel Echeverry, Sustainability Vice President. And I'm going to start us off with this question. After you greet us, Marisabel, tell us why Argos is investing in this product and service and solutions that are green. Hello, Piedad. Hello, everyone. We're really thrilled to be able to join you guys, and even more so when talking about these types of topics that we love at Argos. Now, why is Argos going the extra mile towards securing greener services? Because we have a commitment. We have a commitment towards specific action around climate change management and sustainable construction. So basically, we wanted to put together a portfolio where all of the construction professionals would be able to use to find products, services, contributing to developing projects that are more respectful towards the environment, if you will. This is a way for us to share with our stakeholders our commitment towards a more sustainable future. We at Argos are very well aware that the challenges posed by construction are extremely challenging, that are extremely difficult. We're talking about an industry sector with very important challenges, but also we have the possibility to be cutting edge. And we also have the possibility to provide different stakeholders with different solutions and addressing different challenges in different ways. So today, in order to make this job easier, across our supply chain in the construction sector, we have selected products that, because of their design, because of their performance, contribute to a circular economy, to adapting to different climate phenomena, or improving the comfort and well-being of the end users, or curbing carbon emissions. So we want to share that information with you. That's the purpose of this webinar. We're going to have people delving deeper into the technical aspects of what I'm saying right now. Thank you very much, Maria Isabel. Why are we promoting amongst our customers sustainable construction? Let's talk a little bit about sustainable construction and why we're promoting it across our entire value chain. Sure, Piedad. Let me start out by saying that we're definitely convinced that this is a collaboration effort. This is the result of cooperation. And if one single link in the entire chain is convinced, that'll only get us so far unless all of the links in the entire chain are fully committed. So as part of our environmental strategy is, well, it's precisely this green product and service portfolio. And we want to become an ally to participate in projects that are sustainable. So today we want to show you how this sector, which maybe throughout history hasn't really stood out for being cutting edge when it comes to sustainability, but we're committed to changing that perception. We want to show everyone that there is a possibility to build buildings that are more efficient when it comes to natural sunlight, bioclimate aspects. We are able to have a product in this day and age that will allow us to achieve a better balance between the construction itself and the environment. And thus, the purpose is to have more comfort, to have a more efficient performance when it comes to energy efficiency also in our products. So as I said, we're thoroughly convinced that this construction sector has a lot to contribute when it comes to sustainability. Well, as you all know, we all believe very deeply in this. And we also believe that there are amazing business opportunities for all stakeholders across the entire value chain. Now, you mentioned in your replies some of the features of these products. You've mentioned that these products are more environmentally friendly. They cut down on carbon emissions. Now, let's go into detail on that. Well, yeah, we can talk about green solutions as a product portfolio. Now, these products have very specific features. We've actually segmented these products, and I'll be telling you more about that later on. But for now, let's say that we have concrete and cement with some sustainability characteristics, if you will, that contribute to adaptability, contribute to circular economy, and that promote well-being. And also, when manufacturing them, we cut down on carbon emissions. We also have carbon edifica. This is a more industrialized solution that we'll be telling you more later on. Also, packaging. We have green sacks, smart packs, and we also offer a part of these solutions, digital solutions that we use to modernize all of our operations across the entire value chain. Thank you, Maria Isabel. Let's go to the technical part. Let me remind you that if you want to listen to this presentation in English, click on the interpretation button and choose the language of your choice. Also, please remember that you can send us your questions through Zoom by using the Q&A button and through Facebook on the comment section. And we will try to answer as many questions as possible live on this webinar. Now, I give you Maria Isabel Uribe. She's the president of the communities. Maria Isabel has already talked to us about, but now you're the technical expert. So tell us a little bit more about the more salient aspects of the products and services and solutions that we have in this portfolio. All right, good morning, Piedad. Before I address that question specifically, I wanted to start out by telling you that we're very happy. We're very happy that we're launching these products officially because it's been several years. My team has actually worked several years on this. We've thought a lot about this challenge, and this is an industry-wide challenge. So I'm really happy that I get to represent my company and my team, the team behind all of this development. So two things I want to say about your question. We currently have products, and what we've done is we've become aligned with environmental and sustainable construction trends, and we use that to identify which products of our portfolio are contributing to sustainable constructions. And how do you commit that? How would we do that? We have LEED certificates, Casa Colombia, EDGE certificates that you're very well aware of, that you're very well acquainted with, and your users actually have these certificates. So what we want to do today is we want to show you in a tangible manner how we're able to contribute to these products, and together with your allies can put them together sort of to go the extra mile. Now, regarding the environmental features of the products is, as Maria Isabel said, we've segmented these products. We have low carbon emission products. We're identifying products that, based on their life cycle analysis with international methodologies, we can actually demonstrate that they're more than 35% carbon emission efficient. For example, type 1 Portland cement, which is the basic industry cement. And we've managed to prove through life cycle analysis that there's been a cutback, an important cutback on CO2 emissions. Also, as part of this category, we have a lower energy consumption products, 25% less, again, based on the categories, based on life cycle analysis and compared with international standard cements. So that's the first low carbon emission category. Then we go to adaptation category, circular economy adaptation category. We find the products that use materials, oftentimes coming from other industries, oftentimes coming from within our own industry. These materials, in one way or another, if we weren't using them, they would go to landfills or any other type of dump. So we're talking about alternative fuel sources. We actually have a certificate on alternative fuels. We have waste, solid waste and liquid waste management operations. And when we talk about recycled aggregates, when it comes to concrete, as part of the circular economy line, we all have that. And when we talk about adaptation line, we talk about products that allow us, as the name implies, to adapt to more extreme conditions, more extreme environmental conditions, which we all know we're going to have more of those in the future. So we're talking about products in this portfolio, such as permeable concrete, which has been in the market for several years, but we added some sustainability features to it, and we want to explain those to you further, but we're going to do that later on. And lastly, Piedad, we have the well-being and comfort category. As part of this category, I'd say that probably two salient aspects I want to mention today. These are products that can be used oftentimes as facade products. In that sense, we cut back on using other resources, for example, architectural cement and color concrete, for example. All of that allows us to cut down on using other industry elements with added environmental benefits for the users of the buildings or the constructions where they may be. And on the other hand, we have color concrete, particularly the light colored concrete. As we all know, darker colors have a tendency to promote warming, what is called a thermal island effect. So as part of this category, well-being and comfort, we're betting on products with clear colors, cutting down or minimizing warming up of certain areas and cutting down on the thermic island effect. So that's sort of a very high level summary, and Carlos will tell you a little bit more, but that's the extent of my answer. Thank you very much, Ana Maria. As you mentioned, when talking about your features, you can sort of get the idea that there's a lot of research and development behind that, and there's a lot of innovation in that process. We're talking about coming up with solutions in an industry that's more or less has remained the same for many, many years, which is why we have Daniel Duque, Research and Development Director. Daniel, tell us a little bit more about the innovation and the progress you've made in this portfolio. Hello, Piedad. Thank you very much. Just like Ana Maria, I'm really happy to be here with you. And I would like to thank our customers and our allies in the construction sector and our allies in this sustainable construction challenge, because it is a challenge. And also thank you very much to the entire Argos staff across all of the aggregate plants, all of the cement plants, because implementing these technologies that we develop in the company, through them, we're able to provide the market with these solutions. Again, these solutions are produced in our plants and in our factories. Now, as part of this portfolio allowed us to bring several innovations to reality. And I'm talking about innovations across different categories, different types. Now, I'm going to start with process innovations. These process innovations are reflected in the final product, the general used green cement. And we have Kiln Clay. Now, clay holds a big potential to cut down on carbon emissions, which is a technology that Argos is actually one of the pioneers. We're pioneers in its implementation. We're using a Rio Claro plant with an $80 million investment. And this Kiln Clay allows us to cut down on clay kiln, which is what's traditionally been used in cement. We replace that with calcinated clay. Calcinated clay is also a reactive material, but during the production process, you get less emissions. And in the end, what you have is a general purpose green cement with the same features as other traditional types of cement. So calcinated clay is being talked about. There's actually a BBC podcast mentioning calcinated clay. It's come up in Bloomberg interviews. Bill Gates has actually talked about it. So we're really happy that we're the protagonists of this innovation. Now, a second type of important innovation is our business model. We're broadening our solution offer. And I would like to highlight two. First, modular systems. Modular systems are a step beyond our value chain. Modular systems, as with all measures we may take in order to improve industry productivity, they come with a positive impact on environmental indicators, on environmental metrics. In this case, these modules allow us to take our manufacturing processes. For example, if we're manufacturing components for a building, for a facade, and it allows us to cut down on material waste as well as use concrete more efficiently. Also steel, same thing goes for steel, because through this technology, we're able to use prefab components to control the sizes of these components and then cut down on waste at the construction site. Also, we're very happy to offer a service that we've been offering for quite a while, but with this new launch, we're gonna leverage it, and that's the Green Sac Initiative. Green sacks are closely tied with circular economy principles. We're basically going to be reusing these cement sacks as part of the packaging operation, and we will keep these cement sacks away from landfills. We're going to repurpose them, and with that, we're going to cut down on solid waste also. And lastly, I would like to mention a more intangible innovation, if you will, but one that still is very important for our company, and that's the way we work methodologies. The work methodologies we've implemented across the company during recent years to launch these new products and services are made up of cross-cutting teams working directly with our customers through agile methodologies that allow us to come up with more relevant solutions for our customers, addressing their needs. This will allow us to predict the necessities of our customers, and we will be able to be more proactive by providing quicker results. And thus we will be able to become what we want to be, and that is the best allies for design and constructions in the sustainable infrastructure sector. Thank you very much, Daniel. Let me tell you that right now we have close to 60 people joining us through Facebook and more than 240 attendees on Facebook, on Zoom. Remember that we have a simultaneous interpretation services. You can access the simultaneous interpretation services on the bottom side of your screens using the interpretation button. Now, let me close the technical section and let's go back to Juan Esteban, our CEO. But before that, I'm going to give you Carlos Gomez, our technical advisor. Carlos, according to Ana Maria and Daniel, it's very normal for people to wonder that if these products with sustainability features, the durability features, resistance and other technical features, are they going to remain the same? Do we have to have a compromise here? What can we tell journalists? What can we tell our stakeholders and other parties? What can we tell them about our products regarding their durability, their sustainability versus other more traditional products? Thank you, Luz Piedad. Well, that's probably the starting point that the research and development teams and the cross-cutting teams, as Daniel said, are working on. When you face a national regulation, technical parameters that a product has to comply with, part of this very difficult work starts with research and development of the product. And a foundational part of that is that all of the products should not affect the performance of the product. Even if they're sustainable products, the product needs to be durable. It needs to be forged correctly. The product needs to behave correctly throughout time, sustainable or not. Okay, now, if you if you go down, if you zoom in, we found that these products, with these products, not only are we complying with physical or mechanical parameters in terms of forge resistance, for example, but also we're contributing additional behavior for structures. So that means that we're amping up the performance of these structures. That, in other words, we're complying with regulation. We're complying with all of the metrics, but beyond that, we're actually improving the durability of the concrete. This concrete actually behaves better. And if we bring this concrete onto, I don't know, uh, sea conditions, for example, oceanic conditions, or different cities that are prone to different natural phenomena. Again, remember that these are materials that are that have a low carbon footprint, and they more than comply with the parameters, when you design a bridge or a tunnel or whatever, but also the sustainability is amped up as well as the performance of the product. Perfect, Carlos. Thank you very much. Juan Esteban Calle, our CEO, is joining us today. Juan, I would like to go back to the sustainability topic. Juan, tell us about the origin of the Argos commitment towards transforming the industry. The cement industry is among some of the highest carbon emission industries. Obviously, there are other industries that create more carbon emissions. However, in the eyes of the people, we are some of the leaders when it comes to carbon emissions. And that means that we have a huge commitment towards reducing our carbon footprint. And we've been working on that for several years. We've tried to transform our processes and to make contributions on this regard. Juan, tell us a little bit more about that spirit. Tell us a little bit more of what motivates us to work on cutting down on carbon emissions. Sure. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on this momentous occasion for Argos and also for the planet. We wake up every day with a large level of awareness. We want to build dreams and transform lives for people by building structures and by building household projects. And the company can actually play a leading role in this process. Now, across the entire world, there are millions of people without access to adequate living conditions. And many of these people also lack access to suitable infrastructure of other kinds. So our industry, or we in our industry, are helping to curb that problem. We're helping to bridge those social and economic gaps. And we want to do that in a way that's friendly to the planet, in a way that's sustainable. And we need to make good on this commitment towards helping to solve these issues. Now, climate change holds a very important challenge, but also it is an opportunity, which is why we're so proud of leading the industry on many different things that have been talked about today. We believe that these things are going to be critical in order to get to this big ambition that as a planet we have. We want to be carbon neutral by 2050. This is a huge undertaking, but we are honestly fully committed to that. So, the topics that Carlos, Maria, Marisabel talked about, we're interested in that. That's our commitment. Low carbon emission products, we believe, are the future and the present of the industry. And that is why we feel proud. And as Daniel was explaining to us, low carbon emissions, but also we have innovative solutions on CO2 capturing pilot projects. And we have to believe in the industry. We have to believe in the people who are helping us in this regard. I believe that these technologies will be essential going forward. So with this launch, we're actually restating our commitment to our customers and together with our customers to the entire planet, because this commitment is about solving a planetary problem, a global problem. We basically, what we do at Argos, we want to help create a better world where everyone in this planet can have access to suitable living conditions, to a roof over their heads, and we will make sure that this world will be a better place. In order for us to fulfill that dream, we have to have ambitions, and we have to continue working on being carbon neutral. And with these conscious innovation and green solutions, we are taking an important step in that direction. Thank you very much, Juan. Now that you mention this overarching carbon neutrality goal, I would like to go back to Maria Isabel. And in concrete, the commitment that we have, what is the commitment that we have? Tell us more about that. Yeah, thank you very much. Now, look, the cement industry is one that works in cooperation. Now, if you pull together all of the resources across all different companies and you put those resources at the surface of innovation, then you will have more, I guess, bigger progress. Now, as part of the Global Association for the Cement and Concrete Industry, we have set a very important challenge for our sector. By 2050, we as an industry, we have to be able to produce a carbon neutral cement. Now, this is a very important commitment in our sector. And we need to get there because we need to cut back on our emissions, and we need to guarantee that the fundamental product that we provide can be carbon neutral for 2050. Now, there are really big challenges associated with that. And we need the entire sector if we want to get there in a sustainable way, because scientifically, from the production of our concrete today, we're really far away from being carbon neutral. However, we have clearly identified the leveraging points that will allow us to become carbon neutral eventually. And we cannot get there by ourselves. We have to work as a team. We have to cooperate. And this declaration, I guess, is proof that the construction sector needs to come together and work together so that we can have a more sustainable future. Thank you very much, Maria Isabel. We have some questions now. We have 2 questions through Facebook. Maybe Daniela and Ana Maria can answer them. Now, Dario Alonso Ramirez from Facebook asks, do we have an alternative, a pozzolanic cement alternative on that portfolio? And related to pozzolans on Facebook, Hernando Martinez Sanchez says, is asking if mills are greener by using pozzolans. Daniel, Ana, whoever wants to participate, please feel free to just turn your microphones on. Thank you very much for your question. Yeah, pozzolans are materials that help us produce a greener cement with lower CO2 emissions. We use them mainly in Honduras, where we have great pozzolane sources. And one of the products in this portfolio for the Honduran market, we acquired it by using natural pozzolanes. This is a development line that we're researching in order to potentialize a pozzolane use, and we will continue working on that. Thank you, Daniel. Daniela Velasquez asks, in terms of looks and color, can these green solutions guarantee that we can use traditional colors such as gray or white? Carlos, maybe you can help us out with this question. Yes, Piedad. Well, yes, we are able to do gray, and in all solutions, the colors are the results of a combination between sand and aggregates. Now, when it comes to cement, depending on the plant, if we're talking about artificial pozzolanes or additions that we bring from other industries, they can vary. Architecturally speaking, we will be able to have a facade concrete with our green solutions, no problem at all, in whatever color we want. I have a question now that I would like to send to Ana Maria first. Ricardo Sicagauta says, first and foremost, greetings to all the Argos family. And then he asks, how can we incorporate these green solutions into our products and how are we introducing these green solutions in our production chain in Boyacá specifically? And he's also asking if we can mention some figures regarding our contributions to our to the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. So how can we incorporate green solutions into our products, and where we stand when it comes to the production chain in Boyacá, and how is Argos contributing to the Millennium Development, to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs? Thank you very much for the question. And it's a complex question and a very valuable one. Now, regarding Boyacá, the way we're penetrating the Boyacá market is that we are going to be launching our green cement at the Sogamoso plant located in Boyacá, which is big news for the area and for all of our customers who are sourcing their products from the Sogamoso plant. What we did was we reinforced the features of our cement at that plant, and we've been introducing these green solutions. And when we talk about establishing relations with our communities, we have had a bi-directional and permanent dialogue with our communities in our areas of influence mainly. But they can always talk to us through different media, through different communication channels. And obviously, we will be addressing all of your questions in all cases, because to us, working with communities is key. So to answer your question, when we talk about the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, there are two that are very key, that are part of this portfolio. First would be our contributions towards managing climate change. When Maria Isabel was talking to you, actually, I would like to very much go off on what they said. This is a testimony to our commitment towards curbing our greenhouse gases and the effects of climate change. What we're doing is we're becoming allies. We're becoming allies with different stakeholders across our value chain to curb climate change. And the other Sustainable Development Goal solution is the one related to infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, what we want to promote with this portfolio is to promote the fact that these infrastructure should come with sustainability features. And that's basically what we've been working on. Thank you very much, Ana Maria. Ferney Arias from El Colombiano is asking, how much is the company investing on developing these products, and what percentage of the Argos cement income represents this portfolio with sustainability features? Juan, would you like to comment on this? And also Daniel, I would like to hear from you. Absolutely, Piedad. First and foremost, thank you very much, Ferney, for that question. Our company, well, the projects and investments that the company is prioritizing are those related to green innovation and conscious innovation that we're talking about today. The largest investment we've made, close to $80 million invested in the Rio Claro plant, was precisely because we want to use thermically activated clay. in our portfolio, we have other projects going forward, and these projects are closely related with our ambition as a company. For example, capturing CO2 by using microalgae. That's really high up in the priority list. So there is a very important commitment. Now, the company CAPEX, we've been increasing resources on these types of programs that we're sharing with all of you today. I think Daniel can help us with exact percentages regarding how much these products are weighing in the company. Yes, Juan, thank you very much. I would like to complement that the research and development team is made up of 20 people. We all represent the Argos Innovation Center, and we conduct a lot of research on innovation. Not to mention other people who cooperate with us and who collaborate. Now, regarding the sustainable products, as was already mentioned, the entire investment on those was $270 million. This is a large percentage of our general income, our general profit. The idea is to continue ramping that up until we can get to the year 2050 without any carbon emissions. Thank you very much, Daniel. I would also like to add something. We're actually achieving 15% profit coming from sustainable and green products. We hope for this trend to maintain going forward. Thank you very much, both of you, for your replies. Now, Peter Bell is asking via Zoom from Cement Review International. He's asking, what is Argos doing to cut back on transport and vehicle carbon emission? You know, when the truck fleets deliver cement. And he's also asking if we have greener vehicles working in our quarries. Daniel, or whoever wants to answer this question. Let me take that question, actually. I would say that, thank you very much for the question. It's a really good question. We're working on several lines. We're working on optimizing our fleet. Currently, we're working on several different pilot projects. Initially in Colombia, we're working on cutting down on gas in our cement distribution vehicles. Also, we have hybrid vehicles in our fleets. We have entire hybrid fleets because we're slowly making a transition from one technology to another. The idea is that we don't want to cut back on the quality of our products as well as our shipping methods. So we're making a slow transition. We're starting to introduce greener technologies across our distribution and logistics system. And also, when it comes to Colombia, maybe in the United States, you don't see it that much because we actually ship our products using the railway system up there, which we don't have in Colombia. When it comes to Colombia, for example, in Boyacá, we're using a small railway between Boyacá and Bogotá, which is a significant contribution when it comes to CO2 emissions. So, you know, those are examples of things that we've been working on. And obviously, this solution will be part of this portfolio. Once we have very specific numbers, we will tell you about it. And the other thing that I want to tell you, Peter, is that when it comes to quarries, we are still not incorporating these technologies because of the fact that we're still initially assessing the possibility of incorporating these green technologies in our quarries. Okay, so this next question you can actually answer too. Leiner Salcedo wants to know about the benefits, the environmental benefits arising from the green solutions. Leiner wants to know, in general, if there are any benefits on environmental exploitation or environmental sourcing. There are a lot of environmental benefits, definitely, because many of our products have usually use less non-renewable natural resources. So that is a very positive effect in and of itself. For example, if we want to make a ton of cement, if it is green cement, we would be using less raw material, less non-renewable natural resources. And also the idea is to be able to implement circular economy alternatives. We want to use sub-products or byproducts coming from different companies, coming from different industries, creating a virtuous cycle around an environmental benefits. We are frankly getting a lot of questions for you, Anna, as the Yo Prometo Environments and Community Director. For those of you who don't know, Yo Prometo, roughly translated, I promise, is the occupational health program across the entire Argos organization. And we decided to give it a name. It's a trademark, actually. And Anna, Marta Elena Arias Valdez wants to know if this new portfolio helps cut down on workers' health hazards in construction sites. Give me just a second. Let me activate my camera. Yeah, I mean, what we're seeing is when we talk about health and safety in construction sites, we always make sure that all product handling recommendations are very clear. We want everyone to use PPE, to use the product correctly. We want them to observe their shifts. We want them to be safe, and we want to cut down on hazards as much as possible, because if our products are well handled, they're completely safe for our staff and for our production process. Thank you very much, Ana Maria. Daniel, some collaborators want to know something about what Maria Isabel mentioned. Headlights Via Forte is one of the projects that everyone is interested in. Can you tell us more about this project? Thank you very much. Now, this is a solution that Carlos Mario Gomez is very well acquainted with. This project is a proposal to stabilize soil in tertiary roads. As you all know, our country and countries similar to our own have an enormous tertiary road and network. And as we usually call them, these are unpaved roads. Tertiary roads are unpaved roads. And these solutions are very efficient and would provide a lot of these communities with a lot of comfort by using the soil cement technology, which we have called Via Forte. With this, we want to help these communities become more economically developed by providing them with better roads, tertiary roads, connecting them with municipalities and production centers where these communities can sell their products, commercialize their products, trade their products, and thus we would be contributing to the progress of the rural communities in Colombia. Maybe Carlos Mario would like to say something about it. Well, Daniel, I mean, you were pretty clear. I believe we have an enormous opportunity on that regard. Basically, what we want to do is we want to improve the life quality of these communities. And what we found is that across 98% of the analysis we've conducted is that this technology, besides using local materials, is much more cost efficient compared to what we've implementing across different regions in the country. So with this new technology, we would improve their life quality. And also, there are a bunch of collateral effects as a result of this improvement. The level of income increases for this community. It goes up, health benefits, and everything associated with better living conditions. Anna, let's go back to you. We have a question from Roger Rodriguez, Boyacá. He is really thankful for all of us, and he wants to know what other Argos plants are producing green cement. And there's a second question by Hernando Martinez Sanchez about if if there's a significant cutback on milling time. Well, let me handle the first one, which is easier. The second one, I actually don't know. Maybe Danny would help me on this. Now, regarding the first question is we're producing green cement at the Rio Claro plant, at the Sogamoso plant also. And 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 there are Piedras Azules plant in Honduras with a green technology certificate where we have a brand called Eco Multipropósito. So across all three plants, we're producing green cement. Now, this doesn't mean they're the only plants doing green cement. What I really mean is that these are the plants doing green cement that also come with a green technology certification. We're conducting several analyses, and we have a full team dedicated to analyzing the life cycle of those products. And that's what we're doing as part of the in-depth portfolio analysis. And little by little, we hope to give you better news in all the geographies where we're located. Now, regarding the milling thing, Daniel, could you give me a hand on that? Or? Well, the question is sort of cut, but it says, basically the question asks if there is a significant cutback on production time when it comes to milling processes. Daniel says, well, it depends on the type of material. I'm guessing that the question is about clinker, because clinker is produced with very set times, with very specific set times. We're talking a pozzolan, calcinated clay. If we're talking about those materials, there can be changes in the production and in the milling times, depending on the durability of the new material we might be introducing. But this is to be expected as part of changing the formula, the product formula. And we're learning more about it, and we're becoming better at it. Thank you very much, Daniel. Now we're getting to the end of this space once again. We're really thankful for joining us today. And I would also like to remind you that if you want more information regarding our green solution portfolio, you can go to www.solucionesverdes.co, and you will be able to read more about what we've discussed today. And also you can reach out to us via social media and our contact information. Now, to wrap up, and before I give the floor to Juan Esteban to officially close this space, I would like to share some very positive messages that we've had through our broadcast. Dario Alonso Ramirez says, this is a complex goal. I am a graduate student currently working on cutting back on carbon emissions in the concrete industry, and I'm really thrilled to find out that my country is playing their part and making a contribution towards this. Marcel Bell says, this space is very important. I would like to greet you from the Bancolombia resource team. Thank you very much. Jose Fernando Briceño Parra, he's a customer. I've been using Argos Cement for many years. You guys have never failed me. I'm really proud of you. Thank you, Fernando, for your words. And obviously, we'll maintain contact. Adriana Gia Bermudez, she says, I like that Argos is working on turning itself more sustainable. Thank you very much, Diana. Daniel Rodriguez says, this is a fantastic project. I'm really thrilled about hearing. I'm really thrilled that I'm hearing about so many innovations when it comes to the environment. I'm really thrilled that you guys have a lot of different concrete specific action towards managing climate change and other environment aspects. Ana Maria, Daniel, Juan Esteban, thank you very much to the innovation teams. This is great news. Keep working on those initiatives in order to provide better and more efficient products and services. Thank you very much once again. And I would like to leave you with Juan Esteban, our CEO. Thank you very much to all of you for having joined us on our Green Solutions lunch. We're so happy about this. And this is a common goal that we share with all of you. We want to build a better planet. And hopefully we will continue staying in touch. And hopefully we will have many, many more positive news to be sharing with you. Have an amazing day, and we're thrilled to have this opportunity here in our hands. Thank you very much, Juan. And I would like to remind you of our social media handles so that you can keep a close eye on Green Solutions portfolio. At Grid, and you use Somos Argos at Instagram, Somos _Argos, and at LinkedIn, Cementos Argos. We're gonna close with the video we started this broadcast with. Thank you very much for your attention. What if we stop thinking about the future only in terms of something that is yet to come? What if looking back is not such a bad idea? Thinking of the future as a starting point, as a possibility to go back to our roots, is understanding that the value of the future is not just imagining what will be, but also the gift of learning by reconnecting with our origins. Introducing Green Solutions by Argos. These solutions are friendlier towards our planet, and they're testimony to our commitment towards a more sustainable future. Actions, products, and services aimed at curbing carbon emission, adapting to natural phenomena, contributing to circular economy, and promoting well-being and comfort. For us, the future is about transforming the present through specific action, thinking with innovation, and our willingness to change. To us, the future lies in the origin. Argos, Green Solutions.